You are slowly evolving into a crab. Not today and not tomorrow, but strangely enough, evolution has done something very similar before. And not just once, but many times across millions of years. Completely different animals with different ancestors and living in different oceans have independently evolved into creatures that look almost exactly like crabs. This bizarre pattern is so common that scientists even gave it a name, carcinization, which literally means turning into a crab. At first, this sounds ridiculous, but when scientists started studying ocean crustaceans more closely, something strange became obvious. Many animals that we casually call crabs aren't actually crabs at all. Porcelain crabs look like crabs, king crabs look like crabs, squat lobsters also look like crabs with their flat bodies, sideways legs, claws, and armored shells, but genetically, these animals come from completely different branches of the crustacean family tree. In other words, they didn't inherit the crab body plan from the same ancestor. Instead, they evolved it themselves, again and again and again. This raises a fascinating question. Why does evolution keep reinventing the crab? The answer begins with one of the most powerful forces in biology known as convergent evolution, which occurs when completely different species develop similar traits because they face the same environmental challenges. Nature doesn't care about originality, it cares about what works. A famous example is sharks and dolphins. Sharks are fish while dolphins are mammals, yet both evolved sleek torpedo-shaped bodies built for fast swimming because physics only allows a few efficient ways to move through water. The same pattern appears in flight. Birds evolved wings, bats evolved wings, and even insects evolved wings, all from different ancestors but arriving at the same solution. And apparently, when it comes to surviving on the ocean floor, evolution often settles on the crab. At first glance, crabs don't seem particularly impressive, but their body design is incredibly effective. Their wide, flattened bodies keep their center of gravity extremely low, which makes them very stable on the seafloor, so strong waves that might flip other animals barely affect them. They hug the ground like living armor plates. Their flat shape also allows them to slip under rocks, wedge themselves into coral crevices, and disappear into cracks where predators can't reach them. Then there's the shell, which isn't just armor, but turns the entire body into a compact shield. Creatures like shrimp and lobsters have long, exposed bodies that predators can easily grab, but crabs fold their vulnerable parts underneath a hardened shell, reducing weak spots and greatly improving survival. Another key feature is their unusual movement. Crabs don't run forward, they run sideways. While this might look awkward at first, it's actually extremely efficient because their legs extend outward from the sides of their body, giving them precise control and allowing them to dart sideways into hiding places almost instantly. Combine armor, stability, and mobility, and you get a compact design that's very difficult for predators to catch or kill, which helps explain why evolution keeps returning to it. One of the strangest examples of this process is the king crab. If you've ever seen one, it looks exactly like what you'd expect from a giant crab, with long legs, massive claws, and a wide armored body. But genetically, king crabs are actually closer relatives of hermit crabs, the tiny creatures that carry snail shells on their backs. Millions of years ago, the ancestors of king crabs likely relied on borrowed shells for protection, but over time, their bodies began evolving their own protection. Their abdomen shortened, their body widened, and their shell hardened until generation after generation, their shape slowly shifted into something that looked almost exactly like a crab, meaning evolution had reinvented the crab body plan once again. This also raises another question. If the crab design is so effective, why doesn't evolution keep turning animals into lobsters instead? Lobsters are strong, armored, and successful too, but their body structure is very different. Lobsters have long, segmented bodies with large, muscular tails designed for swimming, which works well for escaping predators in open water, but makes their anatomy much harder to modify. Flattening a lobster would require reorganizing its muscles, joints, tail, and entire body structure. Crabs, on the other hand, already start with a compact body layout where the shell can widen, the abdomen can shorten, and the legs can shift sideways without breaking the mechanics of the body, meaning that in evolutionary terms, the crab design is simply easier to evolve. So no, humans aren't secretly evolving into crabs, but among crustaceans, something fascinating keeps happening. Evolution experiments with different shapes, different survival strategies, and different body designs, yet across millions of years, across different species, and across different oceans, nature keeps rediscovering the same solution, the crab. Which might explain why one of the strangest scientific jokes on the internet is also surprisingly accurate. Given enough time, evolution really does seem to keep reinventing the crab.